All right, so today we are going to be going over something very special. For the better part of 13 years, we have been going to thrift stores and just looking around, flea markets, all that stuff around the Central Florida area. When you go quite regularly, you're destined to find at least something that's really cool.
We love going to flea markets and thrifting and stuff like that. It's fun.
Yeah.
And a lot of time it's affordable too. And the affordable part is what we're getting ready to show you, because some of this stuff, if you were to buy it aftermarket, I guess you could say, or third-party seller, you're going to pay a lot more than what we paid for it thrifting.
So this is like the cream of the crop of the stuff we found over the years. This is our personal favorites. It might not be the best.
To most, it might be garbage to some people, but for us, we thrift for us. We're not resellers or anything like that. So we see something we like, we get it.
One man's trash is another man's treasure, and this is our treasure.
So take it away, Maestro.
So the first one I'm going to show off, this was 2 for 1 at the same shop. Both of the Mortal Kombat soundtracks on CD. These are really great, like industrial compilations, basically. KMFDM, Lords of Acid, that kind of stuff. These are both great listens, and both at the same shop. They're not the best movies. I like the Mortal Kombat films, so these are pretty awesome.
My one that I'm going to lead off with was we went to this was quite a few years ago too. We went to a church yard sale, and I seen a couple vintage toys and my jaw dropped, and I don't know where the other ones went, but I have, one of the main ones here. And I asked the girl how much, and she basically gave me a grocery bag and said, fill the bag for 50 cents. I'm like, what? Okay. So one of the things that we found was this guy. Original Galvatron Transformer. And I believe he still works.
Yeah.
Well, kind of. He sounds like he's dying, but yeah. So he was part, like I said, I bought a vintage He-Man.
Yeah, it was a beat up Too Bad, and
we had a
beat
few
up
other
Soundwave.
We had a few other original Transformers and GoBots, I believe they were, but this one was the cream of the crop of what we got.
Yeah,
for like I said, for 50 cents for all of them. We had a bag full of
actually it was probably like 15 cents for that.
Probably.
Which is crazy. Those are the elusive 10 years ago deals. It was like, damn. Speaking of 10 cents, this was a pretty decent one. The Back to the Future soundtrack on cassette tape. Great movie, great soundtrack.
My favorite movie.
10 cents. Probably my favorite movie of all time. 10 cents, real clean. Cannot go wrong with Back to the Future.
Yeah, you don't see Back to the Future soundtracks out in the wild in any physical media form.
Barely can find the movie, and it's like just known as like one of the greatest films of all time.
All right, for me is gonna be a more recent purchase within the past couple months, maybe. I'm not necessarily a fan, but it was a deal, and I couldn't pass it up. We collect vinyl records and stuff like that, so we're always looking for records, CDs, movies, toys, etc. But this one was how much?
I believe 25 cents.
A quarter. And it is the Go-Go's. Still with the original, it's open, but it has the original wrapping still on it with the original price tag.
Just $8.
Diorce's Record and Audio Shops, originally $8.49, and somebody put $1 on it. We got it for $0.25. And this has the famous track "We Got the Beat." So thought that was a pretty cool score, if I say so myself.
Next, this was kind of like a gag find almost. We went to,
But it was cool.
It was cool. We had fun listening to it. We went to a church sale probably like 6 months ago.
No, it wasn't even that. It was probably
like
a month and a half ago.
Was it? Wow.
It was in January.
And the better thing we found was this huge, nice turntable, which was
Audio Technica turntable. It got for $10.
Yeah,
and it works like a dream.
Yeah, and the other thing we found, a little box of CDs, digging through it, and I chuckled because there was Freak Nasty Controverse. This is about like I would say cringiest kind of like late 90s club music.
Definitely club music.
Like just dance to it.
He has the famous song, I don't even know the name of it.
The Dip.
Yeah. Once you dip, we dip, you dip.
Yeah, but the whole album was a very fun listen. Sucking Like Leeches. What's the standout lyric?
From that same church yard sale, I picked up, which it's back here, and I forgot to take it out. It is a Back to the Future RC car. It's a little RC car made by NECA.
Forgot about that.
Because I'm a Back to the Future fan. There it is. Got that for, I think, $3. And aftermarket, like third-party sellers, these are going for, how much were they? Like
over 30, definitely.
I think it was between like $35 and $65. And I got it for $3. So, score for me.
This might have been free.
That was free.
This was free. You don't see this often, and it's sealed. The Hellcat Give 'Em the Boot video.
Which I already have this, but this is still sealed, and I wanted to get another one.
2005 Hellcat Records. This was all of like Tim Armstrong's bands performing. One long video. Rancid, Dropkick Murphys, F-, Horror Pops, Joe Strummer, Lars Fredrickson, Necromantics, Nerve Agents, Roger Merritt and the Disasters, the Slackers, Tiger Army Transplants, and the U.S. Bombs.
Great CD or DVD.
It's sealed, and it was free.
Can't beat free.
That's pretty good.
All right,
that's up there.
I don't know what's next. Okay. The next one I'm going to show was also recent. Flea market find. I picked up a double LP of Creedence Clearwater Revival gatefold, two disc set, and I think this was $7, practically brand new. And the next one that I bought was $10, a little more, but that's okay because these are going for like $40 on Amazon and stuff. And this is it's a double, it's a gatefold as well. And this is the colored disc version. It's like the Jamaican flag, Rastafari man. So can't beat that for $10. And I had been wanting this album too.
Yeah.
Like it was saved in my Amazon cart, but I just can't bring myself to spend $40.
Over 40.
Well, I think it's like close to 40 now. So
the single at Walmart was like $29 for a single LP. So next one, this was not bought at the exact same day.
Purchased.
They had all of this here, but this was over the span of like 3 weeks. We went back and they were still there, and I was like, I got to keep getting them. This was Red Dead Redemption, GTA 4, and Soul Calibur 4, and Scalar, which is like a weird platformer. This game I had when I was very little. We sold at a yard sale, and it was so long since I seen it, I like forgot about it. So that was a blast from the past. And then a bunch of like decent PS1 games, which are kind of hard to come by. Knockout Kings and Medal of Honor Frontline.
It's a good game. Played that one when it was new.
It is the crowning jewel of those ones. This broke it apart. Starting the PS1 collection, which has grown since then.
Because he recently got a PS1 for Christmas.
Yep. I think 30 years
later.
30 years almost to the day of it being released.
All right. I'm running out, but the next one is more vinyl. These are all from the same thrift store, and this was literally 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. No, like 2 weeks ago.
Matter of fact, it was January 31st. I remember that because it was my daughter's birthday. And she wanted to go thrifting on her birthday, so we went thrifting on her birthday, and I got the gifts for myself and for each of these records, I believe, were $1 a piece.
Yeah.
So
99 cents.
Got Kiss.
One hand to me, I can stack them up.
This one was for my wife. The Bangles. Rolling Stones. Let It Bleed. Jerry Reed. When you're hot, you're hot.
Oh, yeah.
Here's another one that my wife wanted and we got for her. Tracy Chapman. This is original. This isn't like a new repress or anything. This is...
Oh, yeah, all these are original.
This is from 86. Yeah, all these are original except for one. Ella Fitzgerald, one of the most beautiful female singers of all time. Got a great voice. Voice of an angel. Led Zeppelin, 1. That was a big score because that disc is like new.
First press.
Deep Purple.
This one's better shape than mine.
We got The Doors, Strange Days. So you can imagine our faces when we saw all this.
We pulled one out like, dang, that's a really good one. And then another one came out.
This is the original sleeve. It's the paper bag of Led Zeppelin. Which is very cool. This one is the newer one. This is a colored vinyl also. This is actually a repressing.
Yeah, it's like a Walmart album.
ZZ Top Eliminator, great album. So excited to have that.
Then the Crown Jewel.
And the one that I'm like, oh my God.
Try not to scream.
It's Bob Marley and the Wailers. Rastaman Vibration. Dang, that's cool. And it's in great shape.
All these are first pressings. I went through and filed them all on Discogs, and they were all.
Oh, were they?
All originals, except for the ZZ Top.
Nice.
And this is a $70 album. And then these ones, which this was the beginning where you get a breadcrumb over there, and there's a breadcrumb over there, and then this was like the mother load. But
so you want here?
I'll show these ones off because the one at the end was.
Give me those back.
I started to shake a little bit. Both these are pretty great. Marty Robbins, Gunfighter Ballads. These are 45. This would have been, we're missing volume 2 because this would have been a 12-inch basically, like an early album where you get 3 in a box and that was your album.
Yeah, some of those early vinyl companies are record companies. I think Columbia might have been the one
where they tried to move completely to 45
instead of the 12-inch. They would just give you multiple 7-inch albums to complete the album.
Cheaper.
I don't see how it would be using more cardboard, more vinyl.
That is true.
I don't know.
But these are weird because we looked and there's probably like one picture we found on the internet of them. So,
and you
possibly
can't,
very
you
rare.
can't really tell by the screen, but it's
so red.
It's like hot pink, but on the screen it's looking more like an orangey pink.
Yeah.
But these babies are like hot pink. Yeah, you can't really tell. The lighting in here is horrible. Sorry, folks.
You don't see these often with slip covers for early albums. Paper cover, Elvis.
That's my man, Elvis.
68 comeback special.
Love Elvis.
It's beat up, but you don't see over 50-year-old albums in paper sleeves.
Yeah, it's hard to find Elvis in any paper sleeve.
Elvis, Burning Love. This one's in really good shape. This one's like practically brand new. Very nice. And then this was the mind blower.
The first one. This was the first one that was on the records. Before I even got to the record section,
I was like trying to hold it, like hide it, so no one would find out.
And this artist is obviously one of my all-time favorites, just like Elvis. They're my top two.
Definitely. Johnny Cash, the Rebel 45.
Ooh, yeah.
In its cardboard sleeve, which you
never see. I've never seen one in person. I've never seen one.
It's a
let alone
gatefold.
thrifting. How cool is that?
And it's got promotion for the other albums that were out at that time. This is probably like 1961, and you don't come across that like ever.
61. It's pretty old.
This was in a free bin at a local thrift shop.
Free
bin.
is always good.
They have since discontinued the free bin, but while it was open, the Mortal Kombat movie on VHS. I was really looking for this one, and finding the free bin was pretty awesome. And this was the.
You have to reiterate that you are a Mortal Kombat guru, so anything Mortal Kombat he likes to collect.
Not so much anymore, but definitely I still love finding these.
I think you moved on to Street Fighter now.
Pretty much, yeah, like the Versus series. This was the Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel.
It's real beat up.
It's real beat up.
It's barely even called a VHS. It's so messed up.
But it was free, and it's a hard to find VHS.
This is the very first print of Halloween on VHS. The tape itself is brand new. The outer sleeve is not. It's taped together. It is jerry-rigged. But this is how I first watched Halloween, late at night on VHS. This one is usually this is the one I gravitate towards as like the best one because it was free. I think it's got someone's name on it.
Yeah, on the disc or on the tape too.
They made it worse, like the last nail in the coffin.
Somebody wrote Halloween.
That is the first edition of Halloween VHS. Probably like 88, 87. Very nice.
About 10 years after the movie came out.
You want to do that one and I'll do that?
Yeah.
You'll finish with...
My next one, which we're getting to the end here. My next one, I found 2 more vinyls at a thrift store. And these are vinyls that you just don't see in thrift stores.
This was
at all. This was a jaw dropper.
One of those ones where you shake.
You start to shake because you don't think it's real, because thrift stores are just full of Jim Neighbors, Jim Reeves, Burl Ives,
your orchestra, your family garage album,
all your 60s. Polka, all your German and Polish polka music vinyl, and all your Christian quartets, and that's like you don't see stuff like this what I'm about to show you.
Even more so than the 30 ones we showed earlier.
And these are original presses. These are not represses.
This was Salvation Army.
No.
Was it? No.
This was Lighthouse.
Oh, okay.
Which they're no longer open because that was by our house over here.
Yeah.
So the first one is Anti-Nowhere League. I'm a punk guy. I love punk rock music, so I always gravitate to anything punk rock or Johnny and Elvis.
Yeah,
How
this is
cool
a
is that?
12-inch single.
You don't see punk rock music in a thrift store, let alone a Christian thrift store.
And the next one is you definitely don't find this.
This is the first one I found, and I was like,
Gee.
the amazing GBH.
Yeah.
How cool
Street Punk
is
Legends.
that? Great album, too. Original
That
pressings.
is, you don't. The one we're saving for last, this one might be more impressive just because it's more obscure.
Definitely more obscure. My grand finale is, for me, will go down in thrifting history as my all-time favorite find, coolest find, and we'll get to that story when we get back to me.
Yeah, I have two more
GBH.
to blow through real quick.
Holy cow.
This was, oh
There.
goodness. This one was this one we shouldn't have gotten. This was flea market at about 1 p.m. when everyone's closing. The sun is dead in the center of the sky.
I don't think it was that late.
People were packing up.
People were packing
There
up,
was-
but I don't think it was 1. It was probably more like 11:30, 12.
No, it was like 12:30. It was late.
It was late for our local swap meet.
Yeah. There was probably like a quarter of the people that were there were still set up. And
this is stuff you don't find
there was
that late in the day.
a woman was packing up completely except for one box. And there was like a spotlight on it. A single box in the concrete
It was a
parking lot.
heavenly spotlight.
And it was a box of just horror films.
And
Which
we are
is-
horror film collectors,
Yeah.
so
That whole wall there is horror films. That whole thing. So the Wes Craven collection. This got Serpent Under the Rainbow, The Shocker, and the People Under the Stairs. This is a like 30s 2-set public domain like Voodoo Zombie. The Poltergeist collection with 1, 2, and 3.
yeah.
Candyman. Argento's Dracula.
Oh yeah.
Alien 1, 2, and 3.
That's right.
This is where it starts to get really good. Starts. Nightmare on Elm Street 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Oh yeah.
The Howling.
Oh yeah.
Very good. Fright Night.
Yeah.
And then these are like the two biggest ones. They were the most obscure. Eaten Alive. This was Tobe Hooper's movie directly after the first Chainsaw. Pretty obscure.
Very obscure.
Very
and hard to
obscure.
find. You don't find stuff like that in the wild,
And
let alone that late in the day.
this was one where I was like, oh, snatch it. TCM Next Generation, the fourth one.
Not the best movie,
Not the best one,
but it's hard to find, and we got it
the
for
rarest. This was before like all the Blu-rays came out, so it was like stuck on DVD. This movie
how
is.
much did we pay for those? Like $1 a piece? I think they were
It
$1.
was like $15 for all of it.
Like we got a killer deal.
This was like these two were like the top. That was like an all-time. Just so good.
So good.
I have one more to show before we do
Sure.
the finale. This was at the same Salvation Army as the next one. You don't find this. This is a original 1987.
Not
Or
the
1989.
Salvation Army.
Yeah, not the Salvation Army. Like 3 p.m. on a Saturday, which is like I don't even think they even do CDs anymore at this one.
Not ours.
1989, Metal Blade Records, first edition, DRI Thrash Zone.
Yeah.
You do not come across this
I found that
anywhere.
one.
I didn't even know who it was at the time. It was so new to me.
Yeah, so we've had that one for quite a few years, and that's what kind of got him into thrash metal.
Yeah, because during this time I was only thrash metal. Like I found my niche, and that was it. Like all that stuff. This one might be top for me. It's like a 3-way tie. So,
Awesome.
All right, I have one final one to show off. This might be my number one. I cannot show it for obvious reasons. It weighs like 40 pounds. This was a pickup at a yard sale. One of those big neighborhood ones that like all those people join in. It was at the end of the roundabout. $5 laying on the ground. Picked it up, threw it in the trunk before I could even hand over the money. It was such a quick transaction. Like I need to have this. It is the centerpiece to my room. It just ties it together so well. I've been wanting a CRT for so long, and just a perfect size, and for $5, you cannot turn that down. So,
Awesome.
you're the one that changed it all. Because context, before this, he was not as interested in going to the thrift stores. I'll never find anything.
I hated it.
I don't like being here. It's a waste of time.
There was never nothing for me, and I always complained to my wife about, I hate coming to these places. They never have anything cool. It's all a bunch of garbage.
Dumpster.
Until one day, the heavenly thrifting gods came down, wrapped their arms around my shoulders, and said, "It's okay. We have something for you today that'll change your way of living, your life, and your happiness."
Yeah, they wrapped your arms around you and did a power bomb and threw you through the table.
This too was a Salvation Army find late in the day on a Friday, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think it was a Friday late in the day. If anybody told me that they found this particular item at a thrift store at all, I would be, no way, you're lying, or you're just that damn lucky. So, I guess I was that damn lucky, because look what I found. An original first pressing, my folks.
First pressing.
Misfits Legacy of Brutality at a Salvation Army, and there was only a stack of records there like that.
Yeah, and
they're all like polka music.
They probably still have that same stack.
Jim Neighbors, Jim Reeves, all that stuff. This stuff doesn't make it to a thrift store, so I don't know how this made it to a thrift store like Salvation Army. The GBH and the Anti-Knower League, yes, I could probably see that a little more than what this, because that was kind of considered, I guess you could say, like a mom and pop style thrift store. So whatever they get, they just put out. Salvation Army, they get so much stuff, and it's like, how does something like this make it to the shelves and it be there that late in the day? It's like
it literally slipped through the floorboards and fell into place.
And I'm telling you, if you have ever found a better find than a first printing of Misfits Legacy of Brutality, or anything greater or equal to this, please tell me in the comments, because I love hearing those stories. Because this one I usually have back here on display.
I'm sure we can show the picture.
Hey.
The picture you took with it, where you're like,
oh yeah,
like livid.
We'll add a picture in of. I have the picture of the day I found it in line, holding this. Like,
the crazy thing to think
if
about.
If I could find it, we'll add it on into this video so you can see.
The wild thing to think about is, we went late in the day. Imagine if that's the scraps. Imagine what else could have been there.
What else could have been there? But this right here single-handedly changed my.
There could have been a first press cough pool in there.
Yeah. Oh my God. This single-handedly changed my perspective on thrifting and doing stuff like that, because I had never found anything that was worthwhile until that. And this planted the seed of the thrill of the hunt for me. So this will always be my all-time favorite, just because of the content and that it literally kickstarted my joy of thrifting.
One last thing.
And I have a couple honorable mentions, or at least one honorable mention.
Keep holding that up. At the same Salvation Army, probably a few months later, this was found, which is a Legacy Brutality t-shirt. And I wore this very often. It's way too small now.
He outgrew it.
But yeah, kind of weird that was also there.
Maybe it was the same owner. Who knows? But what are the odds? But that's it. I have an honorable mention. Blue Yeti microphone. This was found at our... Hope that didn't break out. We got a janky wire. This was found at our local closest thrift store, our Honey Hole. Found that one day right after I started making YouTube videos and saying, I got to see about getting a better mic, because we really didn't have a mic. We were just going off of my phone microphone, filming on the phone. And we went into our thrift store, and there it was, practically brand new Yeti mic for $6. $6. That's amazing. Yeah. And at the time it was like $60, $70 mic or something like that.
Yeah, back then it was like the best starter mic you can get. I don't know if it's changed.
It was one of the better USB mics. Affordable, good mics, and that was one I found for $6. So thank you, thrift stores. Those are the items that we consider our best and favorite finds since we really started thrifting, for the most part. I mean, we got some great stuff in between all this stuff, but for us, this was like the best stuff, the best finds, or the best deals for what they are. So until next time, we'll eventually come out with another one, I imagine.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be 10 more years from now. So, but thanks for watching this video, and we're going to keep on thrifting, and you keep on
watching.
Keep on watching. Bye. Doo-doo feces.